In this video, we are going to explore the hidden truth in Bhagwad Gita, which has been around for centuries. This ancient scripture has a lot to say about life, love, and work. While it is often revered as a holy book, many hidden truths within its pages have yet to be discovered. We will be exploring the hidden truths more in depth and teaching you what this scripture has to offer, so sit back, relax, and get ready to have your mind blown. The Bhagwad Gita is a complex and sacred 700-verse Hindu scripture that is part of the epic Mahabharata. Originally, the discourse was given in Sanskrit, later it got translated into many languages. The hidden truths range from the nature of reality to the true purpose of our existence. The Gita is set in a frame story of a dialogue between Pandava prince Arjun and his guide and charioteer Krishna. In the Gita, Krishna reveals himself as an incarnation of Vishnu and urges Arjun to fight Duryodhana to restore Dharma. But what is the hidden truth behind this ancient text? Join us as we explore the hidden meaning of the Bhagwad Gita. We have tried to summarize them in 4 main points in this video. 1. Bhagwad Gita is a universal text. The Gita's message is eternal and global, and it expresses reality in all of its fullness. The term Song of the Spirit or Bhagwad Gita refers to the teachings of the Spirit through the soul, which should be constantly sung, and which represent the divine union of truth realization among both man and his Creator. The Gita's 700 short verses contain vast wisdom that unites the fundamental principles of all major global scriptures. The Gita contains all of the known information about the universe. The Gita has been understood and implemented on all levels of human accomplishment and spiritual striving, spanning a huge spectrum of human beings with their various natures and needs. It is supremely deep yet conveyed in the revelatory language of solacing grace and simplicity. The Gita provides insight into every stage of the journey on the route back to God. 2. Understanding the yogic symbolism in the Gita. In the history of divine revelation, the ancient holy books often combine history with symbolism, rather than making a clear distinction between the two. Prophets would use similes to convey complex spiritual truths, by selecting analogies from the daily lives and events of their period. Without being explained in words that everyone can understand, divine profundities would be meaningless to the average person. When the prophecies were written in more complicated metaphors and allegories, as they often did, it was to hide the deepest insights from uneducated, spiritually unprepared minds. Sage Vyasa has skillfully crafted the Bhagwad Gita in a combination of simile, metaphor, and allegory by fusing historical details with psychological and spiritual truths, creating a word picture of the chaotic inner conflicts that must be fought by both the physical and the eternal man. To shield them from the destruction of ignorance during the Dark Ages, which society was moving toward as Sri Krishna's earthly incarnation came to an end. He concealed the most profound spiritual truths under the hard shell of symbolism. The Bhagwad Gita contains Sri Krishna's teachings to Arjun, which are both a deep classic on the science of yoga, connection with God, and a guide for everyday life. Alongside Arjun, the learner is guided step by step from a mortal sense of doubt and weakness to a divine connection and inner determination. The Bhagwad Gita, a thorough philosophical and psychological treatise, describes all the experiences that the spiritual pilgrim on the path of liberation will have, including both the favorable conditions the devotee is working toward and the unfavorable conditions that attempt to discourage the devotee and divert him from his objective. Forewarned is forearmed. A devotee who knows the path to follow won't ever feel insecure or disheartened by unavoidable obstacles. 3. The ultimate victory and the spiritual battle in everyday life. The universal theme of the Bhagwad Gita speaks of the global struggle between good and evil rather than just one particular fight in history. Life is seen as a series of conflicts between spiritual and material, life and death, soul and body, knowledge and ignorance, changeless and transitoriness, health and sickness, self-control and temptations, judgment, and the blind sense of mind. To evaluate how much of his life is dominated by the ego's ignorance, illusion, and physical awareness, and how much of the soul's insight and divine nature he can express, the devotee should examine his daily psychosomatic actions. Through strong spiritual and psychophysical practices and rules, yoga meditation is a process for developing and stabilizing awareness of one's true nature, substituting the confined ego and flawed genetic human consciousness with the intelligence of the soul. Everybody must battle in their Kurukshetra struggle. It's a battle worth fighting, one that must ultimately succeed due to the divine design of the cosmos and the enduring bond between the soul and God. 4. Meditation and the right activity is a balanced path in Gita. Sri Krishna's life serves as a model of the ideal of renunciation of earthly desires for the outcomes of action rather than the ideal of renunciation of the action itself, which is a contradictory concept for a man bound by a universe whose life essence is activity. A man should regularly meditate to polish his thoughts in such a way that he can carry out his everyday duties while still remaining cognizant of God. The Bhagwad Gita's message from Sri Krishna is the ideal response for the current day, and any era, for that matter, yoga of selfless action, non-attachment, and meditation for God realization. Working without God's inner peace is like working in Hades. Working while his delight permeates the soul is like carrying a portable paradise around with us. The moderate, middle, and golden path that Sri Krishna preaches in the Bhagavad Gita is ideal for both the commercial busy man and the most passionate spiritual learner. Their redemption would be to follow the route advised by the Bhagavad Gita, which is a book of universal self-realization that introduces a man to his authentic self, the soul, showing him how he has grown from spirit, how he may carry out his moral tasks on earth, and how he may ascend to God. The Bhagavad Gita is not just a book but an encyclopedia of wisdom. The content and philosophy of this celebrated text are so profound that they can help us in our day-to-day life as well. However, one must keep in mind that no amount of knowledge can substitute the practice and understanding of values. This leads to true spiritual growth. Have you read it before? What do you think about it? Leave your comments down below.